This is gonna be my thoughts after 1 month of playing Stella Sora. I'm just gonna preface this by saying I understand that there's a bunch of people that hate this game purely based on the gacha rates alone. I get it, but there's also a bunch of gachas with terrible gacha rates. It's gonna be my thoughts about it after 1 month as a player who has played mostly free to play. I've purely only bought the battle pass. Aside from that, I've remained with Stellar Knights purely by doing my dailies and whatever you can clear within the arena and achievements. I think so far Stella Sora might be one of my favorite gacha games so far. Outside of its absolutely crazy gacha rates that clearly kind of aid you towards spending more to get the characters you want, and you having to save and maybe skip out a lot of banners. I think the disc they give you per event is pretty good. I'll just give you a quick glimpse of what I mean by that. I think this is after a month of play. I've collected at least 6, 9, 10, 11 max rarity discs. There are some elements that clearly shine out more than others, while there are clearly a lot of stuff that's not level. Honestly, the game's pretty damn good. If you can ignore bits of how... You can ignore bits where they clearly want you to grind way too much. For example, after 1 month of playing, I only have 2 characters that are level 90. Their skills are barely built. The emblems are alright, I guess. At least for Chitose. Shia is... I don't know. All these small things are kind of what makes the game really sluggish for me. I barely play 5 minutes of it per day, which is both a plus and a minus, I guess, because it doesn't really consume much time for me to get on, clear my dailies and get off, but also the progression you make for building characters up is so damn slow. The only way you could potentially have a build character at like a quicker rate rather than just burning through your stamina every day be through the events that happen. This event shop that give you a bunch of stuff that could maybe push you to progress faster, but at the end of the day it also means that you have to skip out on the rate limited character, right? With the current being Fuyuka, I just didn't skip out on Chitose or Shia, so I'm probably gonna have to skip her just based on, you know, how much I actually have. I cannot physically play for free if I were to go for every banner, which I think most of us are clearly not gonna be spending much, but if you are, good for you. I guess another big point a bunch of people were talking about is the dupes, which the talents for characters that aren't SSRs, like your normal SRs, you need 2 of them for 1 talent. And I must say, when you are rolling so much for 1 SSR, it's not that bad actually. Since how my Jinling is at 2 talents right now, because you do actually get a lot of them. The problem is that the talents feel so mediocre. I'm not sure if it's just like the SRs that are weak, but most SR talents don't feel very impactful to even land. It's just like a minor upgrade. So it's kind of weird, and I don't know why no one has brought this up, or maybe a bunch of people have felt it that still play this game, but when you're rolling for a rate up and you hit the rate up on 110, because this silly little game doesn't let you, like this one time only claim thing here, it doesn't bring over to the next banner, so it's just more worth hitting the claim. So now I've rolled 240 times just so I can get 1 extra dupe, which like I don't know, it's like a plus and minus, I guess. That means if you roll for any radar and your luck is as bad as mine, you would have one extra character. Or at least one extra talent. But aside from that, I'm gonna just show some gameplay of what an average day looks like. Actually, you know what, I'll just show you what it looks like. And then I'll show you what you do with the games after. At this point, I think I'm like close to endgame now. And most of my time is spent just trying to get a perfect run. For example, maybe I want to get a better Shia run. Honestly, I kind of need another Chitose run, but your day is basically a mix of just coming to the labyrinth, starting your battle, doing this version of it instead of playing the game normally, and you just try and roll the best augments. I'll just skip to when this is done, and then I'll show you a little bit of what you do with the characters you have already built, and yeah, then it will give you a better grasp of what you're expecting after a month of play. At least how 1 month of playing looks like, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on the game. Alright, I hope that can give you a good sense of what an average run of the monolith goes like once you've like probably hit level 30 plus. Or at least once you've unlocked the final stage actually. Most rounds are basically like that. There's also the Cataclysm which resets every few, like what, 20 days? Which is not that bad. Yeah, the main reason why you would have those runs to begin with is for events like the final echoing, which does appear. I don't know when it'll come back, but it recently ended and it's like a time boss event. The boss fights in this game are immaculate, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's where most of the fun actually starts from. Cataclysm Survivor is like a vampire survival style game where you get waves after waves, which you can probably find it online by someone doing it. But yeah, aside from that, I honestly think Stella Sora has a lot of potential to be a really fun roguelike gacha game. Despite a lot of its terrible gacha rates and the fact that most people have already put it down because it's just other games, I think the roguelike elements are really what carries it. I've been playing it semi-religiously for like a month now, and I must say it's really fun. I actually play this more than Chaos Zero Nightmare, which controversial, I know. I do enjoy CZN too, but CZN is so time consuming. Compared to Stella Sora, where I just log in, I do some stuff, I progress a little bit, by a little bit every day, I stack up, I brilliantly play basically. And I think the only other plus about the gacha would be it gives you, for every tempo it gives you, it does give you more of this goldies which you can use to pull for the limited cards. Yeah. These are my thoughts on Stella Sora so far after 1 month. Would I recommend playing this game? Honestly, if you haven't had 3 staple gacha games, for example, maybe your time is a bit divided, and you're already up to like 3 to 5 gacha games, I wouldn't recommend picking up Stella Sora. Don't get me wrong, the story is really nice. Despite me not talking about story at all throughout this video, the story of the game, each event is really good. This hard mechanic here, where you can have conversations with each character and invite them on dates, is also really nice. I just wish they would expand more about it. You even get like benefits from that. The affinity level is a bit dumb though. 8k after hit level 20 is kind of insane, but it goes up to level 42. And I think this screen here you can get by unlocking a special memory of the character after you hit affinity level 10. Which, I don't know, I'm not quite sure the direction of where we're going with this game yet. Are we going more waifu style? Are we going more, you know, a bit parasocial, falling in love with 2D girls? I don't know. We're kind of in between everything right now. I think the gameplay is really solid. The mechanics are really fun. I think you probably get more content going on Chinese sites and watching Chinese people play the game for like the most optimal, crazy way. Because those people are just insane. I've seen people hit like insane 300,000 damage on a boss run just running like Shia or something. There's a bunch of people getting like maxed out Chitose as well. But I think as an F2P player looking for a new gacha game, if you haven't had 3 gacha games, or maybe you have Weathering Waves in another game, and you've got a little bit more time a day to spend, I think Stella Sora is worth playing it. But only if you're really fine with a game that's easy to clear or dailies wise. If you're looking for a time sink gacha game, this is definitely not one of those. You can't pour 8 hours into the game and expect returns. The most you can do per day is like an hour of play. Maybe like 3 hours you're really stretching it because you've been lacking on doing stuff. I think the longest I played this game is maybe 8 hours. And all I did was the story mode here and the event story. Aside from that, yeah, that's about it. I'm not quite sure if you've got anything useful from this, but yeah. If you found this helpful, if you do enjoy me covering other games that aren't Duet Night Abyss, you know, leave a like, leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. じゃあね。